please. Thank you. First order of business today, let me back up and say, appreciate the county clerk's office being here today on election day, and I promise I will keep this meeting short, but it didn't turn out that way. So we'll move through it the best we can. Minutes from the October 15th meeting was mailed to the magistrates. Any corrections or changes to those minutes? I did not see any, but it doesn't mean to go.
I'm okay with this, I'll make a motion.
Motion to approve by Keith Metcalf. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Eric. Any further discussion? All approved, say aye.
Aye.
Disapprove? Motion will carry. Next should be your bills list and additional bills list. A lot of bills today. 2 large payments to the health department, first and second quarter. We usually pay that when our tax money starts rolling in. And we got a check of the day from the sheriff, so it's time to pay up.
How come you make both of them once?
How come? Because I deferred the first payment in July and held the money until the tax money comes in. So that's not really, that's really, we're using their money.
Skip the payment.
Sure. Yeah. And all the counties do that.
It's a big one.
Yeah. Any other questions on any bills? Otherwise, entertain a motion to approve the bills and transfers.
Make a motion to pay the bills and transfers as presented.
Thank you, Bernard. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Jeff. What question? Yeah, discussion?
On the vehicle damage claim, I think that's EMS.
Which one?
Janet Thompson?
Yes.
Yes.
One of our ambulances went through an intersection and cut back too quick, sideswiped her car, and she wanted to rather be paid out than repaired.
She'd rather be paid out than repaired.
That was low estimate.
And the other estimate was like $1,900, and I figured that by the time we pay our $1,000 deductible, it doesn't count against their claims.
One more thing, Brad, I think it is. Your truck sales, is the truck repaired?
Yes.
Okay.
Any other questions?
That's all I got.
All approved, say aye. Disapprove? Motion will carry. Next item of business will be a new roof for the original 1995 Animal Control Center building. We budgeted this. It looks like South Central Roofing, who we've used in the past, basically out of Lebanon, I believe is where they are. Lebanon. They're the one that put the roof on the old building. Oh, but then they do the old library building too. Old library building too.
I noticed one had a dumpster figured in and another one didn't have a dumpster. What's the deal with that? He would still be low bidder, but he, if you took the 150 off of the one, what's he gonna do with the?
Well, he just necessarily didn't show it. I mean, it doesn't mean he's not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he didn't show it.
Okay.
That's his problem, yeah.
One more thing,
Uh-huh.
on the H&M, it says replace any bad boards or plywood, and on this top one, it does not.
Okay. Okay.
I'm sure it's gonna need some plywood or boards.
Yeah, there is some swag in that roof. That's an old roof. We got our money's worth out of that roof.
So I think they need to address that.
Okay, we will. But you don't know how much it is till you get up there.
That's
It's like,
right.
I mean, I replaced my roof on my house last year and there were about 6 sheets of more than he
Right, but that's included in their bid, it's not in theirs.
Oh, boy,
What do you get
yeah,
per
yeah.
square foot for doing it?
I'm sorry?
He's giving us a flat
Per square
price.
foot?
Flat price,
Yeah.
so 29 square foot. Didn't say on that one.
We'll confirm that on the, if not, we'll go to the other.
That would be quite a bit difference if they had it.
Now, I do think there is some damage up there, don't
Yeah.
you? On the
Okay,
roof.
we'll check it out. But I would ask fiscal court to go ahead and approve him. If he doesn't want to do any of the sheeting, then we'll go to the, well, both of them have done work for us. But
Maybe you just need to call both of them back and say, hey, here's the deal.
I was want to try to get this done for winter though, for the dead winter.
Is it leaking?
It has.
Yeah, it has.
It has. Yeah.
I looked at it.
You're looking at 2 or 3 sheets of plywood, so you're not looking at ply.
When they get it done.
I want to get it done, yeah. I would recommend South Central Roofing, we'll confirm that they're going to replace any sheeting. If not, I'll see how much it is per sheet. And,
And dumpster.
okay.
$150. I make a motion we approve South Central.
I'm
Road.
satisfied that we're going to confirm that, because we're not going to open on Saturday.
Stipulations. and things.
Okay, thank you, Jeff. Is there a second by Gary? All approve, say aye. Aye. Disapprove? I didn't give you a second chance to get any discussion. I'm afraid you want to count the nails. I had to say that, Keith. I had to say that, right? That's okay.
$400,000 to the health department. Don't worry about some sheet.
2 sheets of plyboard.
$150, $150.
That's right, save the taxpayers money.
I'm going to skip number 2 for right now, because I want to review the resolution a little bit further. We've got an amended copy from LaRue County, and then Matthew's worked on something for it as well. I'll bring that back to our next court meeting. Sheriff's request, committee met this morning, and the sheriff has requested purchasing 8 new radar machines for cars. Total price is going to be $11,210. That's actually 6. You get 2 thrown in there, so it's a total of 8. Committee's recommendation, I believe, was to recommend approval, but I'll turn that over to Gary or Keith.
Go ahead, Gary.
Well, the 11,000 is still in the budget. I think sheriff pays $15,000 for equipment in the budget, and it's 11,000 for the radars. We don't want anybody getting a new ticket, our family or whatever. However, with that being said, we do have law enforcement to verify the laws and take care of the laws. So this is part of it, so I recommend.
So that's gonna leave you about 4,000 left in your budget?
Yeah, about that, yeah.
What is
For the
that?
rest of the fiscal year. And there could be some monies we move around. When we get closer to the last quarter, we can do line item transfers, adjustments.
In case you had something
Yeah.
pop up.
Motion to approve?
Wait a minute, can I say?
Yes.
We also asked Raymond when the last time a new one was bought. He's
I
been
can't
on-
remember.
He's been on force for a long time. He
Right.
said he can't remember.
Right.
I can't remember. Judge, 26 years.
I think it's a needed.
It's not that we haven't bought it, I just don't remember.
And the old equipment's getting outdated.
Oh, I understand. How old is it, Raymond? Do you know?
We still have some equipment that are wire. These will be remote, wireless. So it's a huge upgrade to the force to having these new vehicles.
I'll make the motion to purchase them.
Thank you, Eric. Is there a second to that?
Second.
Second by Gary. Further discussion?
Yeah, in your budget with new vehicles, the cages and all that stuff, is that included in the price of the vehicle? So the budget for this come out the same?
The vehicle is budgeted for $45,000 each, and my budget is $90,000, and I believe in fiscal court's budget is $90,000 as well for 2 vehicles each.
Well, no, we've got a total of $235,000 in our budget for vehicles this year. That includes
That carry over
from the carryover from the previous year.
But usually each year you got $90,000 for 2 vehicles on your side and on my side.
My question is, we're going to put the cages and stuff in out of that budget and not out of this?
Yes. It won't be enough, but we're coming to find out that everything's not going to fit. Usually you think you can use
Reuse the stuff.
Cages,
Out of stuff. but
light bars don't fit anymore.
The new upgrade on the new Explorer, the Explorer's wider, so you need a bigger light bar. The inner cage.
I'll do it.
I don't even think that they're
Frustrating.
out just yet. I told Gary and Keith earlier this morning, they're gimmicks. They're updating stuff, and they're just kind of going with it, and you can't. We talked about it this morning. The Crown Vic, you could take it out and put it on a brand new one, whether it was 10 years, and now every 4 or 5 years, you're upgrading a vehicle, different measurements, different things, and you are having to purchase different items, and I call them gimmicks. The Taser is the same way. You got to buy a battery, you got to buy a cartridge, you got to buy different things to accommodate those.
The light bar is just a prime example of that.
especially because the brackets, the old ones would be about 4 to 6 inches short from mounting. So now they're having to expand the mount because the body is wider than what it was last year. And actually, last year, they didn't make any Explorers the year before, so.
Why would that matter, Randy? 4 to 6 inches. If they're working right now, why couldn't you work at 4 to
The
6
mounts won't
inches
fit, will
It
they?
won't clamp onto the body.
Got it
on that roof rail?
on the roof rail, so the bar lights, they're too short, there's no
You have to
brackets.
drill a hole in the top.
To go back to the old one like Barney Fife had, the one, and you can reuse that on every car.
A good example, guys, on the old Explorer, the light bar was $1,200, I'd sell. The new Explorer is $1,969.
Well, a little bit on that subject, just a little bit. Is there a reason why the sheriff's department buys the Explorers over, say, like a sedan, like you see city running?
So before we used to purchase whatever was the cheapest vehicle, and it no longer is feasible for us to work the county. The Explorer's been a great vehicle for us, bottoming out, getting to terrain that we were not able to get on a Crown Vic or an Impala or a sedan.
That was a court decision, let me go back a little bit, because I have to mention, that was a court decision several years ago to go ahead and start with all the SUVs versus the sedans. The longevity of the vehicles going over these, when it goes through a culvert or something, it's been well, it's paid for itself, to be honest with you. And then the officers, this is the officers' offices, so you want them to have some
More room.
You know, they live in these, not living, but they're in those vehicles a lot of hours. And just like our offices, we like nice chairs when we're sitting down. You know, they need a nice working environment. And that's why the court at the time, Bernard was on the committee, I'm pretty sure, when we made that recommendation, to go ahead and start buying all SUVs.
Neil knew how big four-wheel drive also. don't he?
Yeah, or all-wheel.
Or what is the all-wheel drive?
We've had
And
this
snow
is
and
the
ice is so
best
great.
fleet that we've had
Wet
in
roads.
the 14 years that I've been with the sheriff's office. Probably about 4 or 5 years ago is when it started to become an upgrade.
Yeah, I didn't mean to get in the weeds, I just didn't want to make sure we didn't deplete the budget.
The budget's
Right.
gonna have a little bit of air put into it
Confusing.
because of that, but I'll deal with that.
I'll call the question,
Huh? What'd you say?
man. I said, I'll call the question then.
Okay. Anything else?
The motion's on the floor, correct?
I can't remember if we voted or not.
No, we haven't.
We have approved it, yeah, that was that, I thought we did. Simpson Creek Road,
Did we approve it?
yes, yes. I thought we did.
I don't
We did vote.
There's a motion and a second.
Okay, I'm sorry. She said we had a motion and a second, but we didn't vote.
We didn't vote on it.
All approved, say aye.
Uh,
Disapprove? Motion carries. Thank you. It's sad that this one. Simpson Creek Road, Brad?
All right, we've got a property owner at the end of Simpson Creek Road that's requested that we close the last approximately 370 feet of it. It's in Eric's district. He owns all the property around that, and there is a KRS that applies to how we deal with closing a road. So prior to proceeding forward, and we got to get 2 people to go visit the site, post it, put it in the paper, have a public hearing. Want to make sure you guys were okay with that before
Before we
I
went
take
to
the
that
next
sheet.
steps in it. We did the same thing similar about 2 years ago in Love Ridge. The reason this particular gentleman wants to close this little section of road is it's kind of a dead-end road. There's some activities going on that he's had issues with, drugs and
And this is a chip seal, right? Or
that little
gravel?
section, yes.
That little section
That
is
little
chip seal.
section, yes.
question, who pays for putting it in the paper? And
We do just as we do Love Ridge or anything else. It's our cost.
Because he wants to do it, and then it's gonna cost taxpayers?
Actually, it's supposed to save tax.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna
Save
save
money.
money in the long run.
I got about 300 more miles if anybody wants to take them.
I hear you.
I'll give them up to now.
Well, as a matter of fact, it'd probably help you out on your numbers when you're walking, your footage over there, kid. You should be jumping up and down if you feel back there the road.
To answer that, yes, Keith, we pay for putting
We
it.
pay, it's an ad, probably.
So about how much?
$50, $75.
Dean would know.
It's not much. Rhonda, those little ads are not much. And you'll save out on chip sealing it next year.
Guaranteed.
Yeah.
Where are they doing it?
I wish he would take some more
Somebody
of it.
dump a bunch of garbage out there.
Yeah, it's a pretty rough spot. It needs to chip.
So, Brad, your next step, if court will make a motion to move forward with the closure of that particular section of the road, so you'll do it in a half. We'll pick 2 property owners to go out and view and make a report back to court, right?
That's correct, it has to be posted and put in the paper.
So today I need a motion to go forward with the closing of that section of the road as presented.
I'll make the motion to close that section of the road.
Motion been made by Eric, a second by Jeff. Any further discussion? All approved, say aye. Disapprove? Motion will carry. Thank you all. Next will be a box culvert for the Whiteside Road, a contract with the State Transportation Cabinet. Brad, you want to give a little detail on that?
Okay, so there's an area on Whiteside Road, which is in Jeff's district, that the road floods in that general area. And what is occurring, the state's looked at it a lot because of where Highway 150 went through, the redesign of that. With the flooding and whatnot, there's a driveway that has 2 culverts in it that it comes to that particular location and it can't take all the water. And it
You mean
jumps-
31E, don't you?
No, I mean Whiteside Road.
Yeah, but you said
Well,
150.
I mean, little,
It is
150
150
little road. It-
Oh, okay.
They
Yeah,
come
I'm
together
sorry.
there.
Springfield boy, it's coming out in me.
We'll forgive you.
Yeah. So all that said and done, water comes down to a particular location, which is a private driveway. It hits these 2 culverts, jumps up and over the road. And that's why we get involved. When it starts flooding county roads, we can get involved in these issues. The state's looked at it, they're willing to help us financially in removing those 2 culverts and putting a box culvert in there. We will bid this out. But I need you guys' approval to approve the grant that's been provided through the state.
And the resolution authorizing me to sign that, the documents related to that.
I have one problem with that. Is the state cause this problem when they built the new road through there?
That's argumentative.
Didn't flood
If the-
before.
If the state caused the problem, I feel like the state should pay for the whole bill.
Well, they are.
They are.
They are completely?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
We
thought you
submitted
said
enough
minimal
to
cost
cover.
to us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, the $60,000 in the contract was covered, we figured it to cover it, if not, we'll go back to the state and get more money.
And how many times we've been out there to clean that out?
Oh, about every 2 or 3 months.
Yeah, and it's not just, it ain't just
You know-
gonna get some logs out of it.
So here, you know, the law is everybody's responsible for your own driveway, right? And your own, but this is the right thing to do. The state's stepping up to help. There won't be any admission of who caused what. It's just, here's the solution to try to help these folks out. With
That's
this.
a cheap expense.
There's one sentence in there that says the county further agrees to be responsible for all costs over
So
$60,000.
when we bid this out, and if we don't have enough money, then we're going back to the state and amend it.
Deal.
And I've done it, we've done it
Yeah.
before, by the way.
Okay. 'Cause I
And I
just
think
don't
we have
like.
assurances that we'll probably get it.
Yeah.
High ranking official. and
Yeah,
representative.
somebody is very, don't like the phone calls he's getting.
And also, not responsible after we put it in.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah, right.
So I had them all sign, all the property owners that own, there's 4 right there, sign what we call an indemnification form. And part of that indemnification form says, like I said, project is done. It is their ownership and maintenance thereof moving forward. And the state's the one who gave us, when I say state, highway department, gave us, this is what you should build. Build this and the 100-year flood you go through it. Now, you all know how that is. Next week will be a 200-year flood.
Do a tier.
So exactly.
Need a motion to approve.
I make a motion to approve.
Thank you, Jeff. Is there a second? Second by Eric. All approved, say aye. Disapprove? Motion will carry.
And I will bid that out. So I'm
Okay.
gonna bring that back to you guys.
It may be a spring project too, you never know.
But potentially, I mean, it's a bad time of year to be bidding on.
Brad,
Work.
can I bring up one more thing?
Sure.
The Hornback boys have started back?
Oh, yeah, they're dabbling some, yes. They like smaller, he's talking about Hornback Construction. They had kind of gotten out of building bridges, they retired. Well, they're getting back into building smaller structures. This would be a smaller structure for them. So if they get involved, it's a good sign.
Yeah.
But they tend to keep the price low.
Okay.
Well, they built many bridges for us over the years, yes.
EMS report, Joe?
Monthly call report for October come in at 555 calls responded to. 125 of those were non-transport, which gives us 2,341 calls to date for this year. I would report that as of, according to Rhonda, as of October's financials, our revenue is on budget. So we will take that what we can get it for the first 4 months.
Okay.
That'd be my report.
Thank you. Okay, we'll go to recreation report.
Little League girls basketball is still in full swing. The tournament play will start for them in about 3 weeks and should be done. Their season will wrap up the weekend after Thanksgiving. Either this week or early next week, the buildings out at the park will be winterized and shut down. And then the brick wall is up. Just passing around, I only got 3 copies. The only thing left, once the dirt gets put back in, he has to come back and put the weep hose on the inside. So, yeah.
We did this one a little bit different, where we put the
Stone cast.
Stone cast.
Yeah, he does look good. The pictures might not be, but I mean,
That's smart.
Get bored, come out and
You live and learn, don't you?
check it out.
21%. I don't know in person what it's saying.
Better. Put that stone
There's a reason I'm practically bald now.
Well, we did it on weekend.
Anything
I
else?
think we should do it for everything else.
Anything else, Bryce?
Oh,
Jail report?
As of this morning, we had 147 inmates, 41 are state, 106 are county, 65 are currently waiting certain court cases, 41 are waiting district court cases. We have 105 males, we have 42 females, and the female population has been on the rise for the last couple of weeks. We don't have enough room to house them.
Is that it?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
147, that's upward from what it usually is, isn't it?
No, we've been up 100, last year they went up to 108.
Yes, 175 or 80 several times.
Oh, yeah.
As far as, but that's mostly male, now the female population is on the rise, and like I say, we just got so much room to, got them stacked.
I did talk to the new jail inspector the other day on the phone, and had a real good conversation with him.
He
And
stopped in yesterday, he was very pleased about that box that we had made.
for the TV sets, yeah.
Yeah, he did.
Good. Road department report? Lee?
Placed some gabion baskets on Agin Road to prevent further erosion of a shoulder that was occurring. I also installed some channel lining along the ditch line on Agin as well to help that out. Replaced several culverts, two on Greens Chapel Road to prepare that for overlay. Replaced one on Patton Road, Hibbs Lane, and then we did a couple entrance replacements on Greer Lane and Marks Lane. Been doing some shouldering. We did get Plum Run Road done. Stoner Road, Sullivan Lane, and we repaired a section on Jim Clark Road and Quarry Lane where it was washing out.
So the roads you just mentioned, you shouldered them as well?
The Plum Run, Stoner, and Sullivan, we did the complete road. Those roads were overlaid
Well, good.
earlier this year, so
Yeah.
we did get those.
So what you find is any road we have
Paved,
paved for
yeah.
the year,
It got a little
we
bit
wait
long.
till the fall to try to let it cure. And it's a good project when it's kind of muddy.
Go down
Go out and
Thursday.
shoulder them because, you know, you get extra asphalt now that wants to take off if you can shoulder. So that's what.
Lee, we done paving for the year or?
Mike Rogers indicated maybe pave Thursday and Friday pending weather this week, but we're really getting to the end of our rope as far as temperatures. It's really starting to hurt. So I told Mike really after this week, I'm fine with cutting off and waiting until next year. He mentioned maybe heading your direction, but it's so dependent temperature wise, man. I'm telling you, you guys, you all know.
Way better wait.
It's the only one I would really want to get done. They started Willie Ballard and the rain caught them. And I would really like them to get back out there and finish that one before the winter steps in. But
So when that typically happens and you have to push somebody back, does that mean they go on the front of the list next year?
I can't answer that question.
No.
Because, I mean,
No.
them folks over there are
No.
gonna be very disappointed that Lawrenceburg, Luke, and Love Ridge is not gonna get no love this year.
They've done this year. District 1 ain't had the first one done.
Well, you got,
There you go.
you're in pretty good
First
shape.
one.
It's just hard because every road's got a unique character. Like some of these roads, we put 6 culverts in. And replacing
It ought to be.
six culverts, you know, that's the right thing to do. And it delays your project sometimes 2 or 3 weeks. So it keeps, you know, pushing it out to do the right thing.
Right.
But yeah, all you gotta do is remind us in the spring
Okay.
and we'll yank the chains.
Hopefully they can get something done, but you're right, the weather's gonna turn south. I think it's calling rain Thursday, and
And you did see the press release from the governor's office on the extra transportation money.
that was awesome.
You know, that you won't get that till probably spring anyway. So
Right.
we won't be able to do it. You get the contract this next 30 days, hopefully.
Yeah. I just want to tell you, Lee, I really appreciate you guys going out and taking care of that tree on Grease Chapel as well, man. They were really excited about that, and I know the weather was really bad. You guys went out there and tackled it anyways. I was shocked, so it was good.
Yeah, well, we used those 2 rainy days to tackle a bunch of trees. We did Greens Chapel, did 2 on Mobley Mill, did another tree on Jim Clark and Eddie Miles Road, and we tackled a tree a while back on Keith Miles Road that you sent in. That, we got the limbs off of it to where it's safer, but it's full of hornets, so we're gonna wait till the winter time.
Chickens.
Yeah, right. What about that one, what about?
I think it was a highly educated move.
Great big elm tree. Did you get
That's
that?
contracted out to Salt River.
Okay, so they'll cut that, will they cut that this year?
They should.
Typically, yeah.
They're pretty quick.
Yeah.
Usually within a couple weeks, they get
The A&G Tree Services.
Or A&G,
Yeah, that's 2 Salt Rivers.
I really appreciate it, thank you.
There's a question, I don't know, if you don't know the answer, I don't understand. Right at, Lincoln Rock, right there by Hometown Peak, there's 2 street lights out there that are proposed. Do you know if those are the homeowners association or if they're?
If it's the intersection of a county road and a state road, that typically will be a utility company that's on us. Usually Salt River, we work that, do that. Once you get into a subdivision, it's the homeowners.
Actually, I think it's past the entrance to Hometown there.
I would have to ask, but more than likely that feels like that's a homeowner
That's what I
association.
guess, but that's the same post that they have all the way throughout there.
Yeah, but typically we would try to
Now,
match
Let me say this, every
would have to-
location is a little different, but we have taken over entrance, for instance, Foxfire in your district. We've taken over those 2 lights there, and Salt River changes those out pretty regular. If they are out, just let me know, and I can let Nick in.
Where's it at again? We'll check in.
Lincoln Rock.
Right there, by
Okay.
Hometown.
All right. What we'll do is we'll reach out to Salt
They're the
River.
decorative lights.
Yeah.
We'll reach out to Salt River and then they'll tell us if it's ours, they'll bill us. If it's not, they'll have to get hold of whomever's paying the bill.
I don't
We'll
think-
take care of it.
I think that's the problem. I don't think they're paying for it. They only got half the lights on back there, and so
We'll leave it.
maybe getting into homeowner associations dispute.
Yeah, I'll check it out.
Okay, I appreciate it.
Landfill solid waste,
Wait a minute.
Lee, were you done? Okay.
Yeah.
Basically,
Yeah, jump in.
we're gonna do our last asphalt patch today. It's on South Stillwell Road. I know both 1 and 3 kind of share that road.
No,
No?
it's his road.
Oh, it's his road. Okay. So we're out there doing a patch today that we found last week. Just needs to get repaired before the winter. And then we're gonna be shutting it down.
I've got one thing, I'd like to shout out to Senator Higdon and Chad McCoy for the extra money to make our roads in Nelson County a better place.
Well, thank you for that.
And
Well,
also Judge Watt.
I didn't have a thing to do with it, did I?
You didn't let me finish?
Thank you. Landfill solid waste report.
2 quick things. One of our, I guess our second newest garbage truck had engine issues, lost oil pressure, shooting oil out the side of the block. But good thing, it is less than 5 years old, so it won't cost us any money. But it's just, we're down a truck now, so we spent, Brad seen them on the way home, sometimes 7, 8 o'clock at night trying to get our other trucks up and going to to have trucks, 5 trucks Monday morning, so they're doing a good job with that. Next thing, quick thing I'd like to get blessed with you guys, our bulk yard and pickup, our flyers go out in December, so we need to go on and get these mailers out to people. Just get your thoughts, if you guys want to stick to the same route that we've done in the past, or do you guys want to switch it up?
Switch it up.
Yeah.
Switch it up. My constituents always got in the cold weather, the rain, the snow, so I think we need to alternate.
You don't have to throw stuff here.
Okay, so your district was always, part of your district was always first.
Right.
Okay, so you want to be last.
That's correct.
Okay, so the disadvantage to that is, and your district doesn't have as many of the outlying rural county lines where the dumping problem is created. Remember Keith, Bernard,
Anybody joins another
everybody
county?
joins another county, especially the furthest points. And that will create a more open door for these piles to be as big as this courthouse.
That's fine, but still, I don't think it's fair for my constituents to have to wait or do it first every year in the cold and the ice and the snow in order to get the bulky item pickup. I don't think it's fair to them. I think it'd be fair to alternate where everybody gets a turn.
Discussion?
That's fine with me. I get more complaints over junk laying around longer than I do.
Yeah. Because you're in a more,
Same thing I get. We're last.
Who's first now?
right now,
He is.
his second part of his district, not all of it.
Okay, so it starts off at everything east of 31 and 49. So the north half of the county, everything east of 31.
So Brad, you're first.
So I'll give you my history.
I don't want to be part, because it's cold weather and
Okay.
muddy and snowy.
I'll give you my history behind it. We've been around 20 years and dealing with this. We did this once.
I know.
It didn't
And
work.
I told Lee, if we ever do this again, kick me right in the rear end. Because what it is everybody gets used to putting it out at a certain time. Totally agree with what you're saying, what you guys are saying. And we get that complaint a lot.
And then you
But
have
what
to
we
go back.
find is, if we switch the schedule up, even though we send these out, they don't look at it.
They don't
at the
keep up
time.
with them.
They know internally, oh, I gotta get it out, I gotta get it out. And then they don't get it out, and what the road department does, now that I'm in a different seat, is we have to backtrack a lot, because all these people said, wait a minute, why did you come for it? You're not supposed to be here until April.
It's still-
So that's just my
I'm not
background,
talking
we're
about
here to do whatever you all
I'm talking
want.
about a bunch of people.
Well, I'm gonna
That would be the negative part of it. I'm
Yeah.
not giving you that side of it.
Yeah, I understand the management point of it, that,
I
I
just
would hit
don't,
that
I
way.
just don't feel like that, my guys and my constituents get a fair shake. I mean,
Well, I disagree with you because, and again, I'm open for ideas, but I've lived through this for a long time. Nothing said, time says we have to do it in the winter anyway. We do it in the winter because
Our guys don't have it.
you'd be less blacktop, you'd be less culverts put in, and if we did it in the middle of the summer. And I don't understand why you can't get stuff out.
You don't have that much of this.
In the winter.
They got 2 free passes if that's a big
Yeah.
problem.
I don't understand why you can't get it
well, you
out.
know, you have elderly people. Elderly people like putting stuff out too.
I understand.
And, you know, it'd be a danger
Those
for
elderly people
them to
probably
get,
not putting it out there.
it'd be dangerous for them to get out on ice and snow to try to put stuff out.
They can
Every
take it-
year,
As close as you are to the dump, they can take it to the dump instead of
well,
loading
if they
it
don't have
up.
a way to take it to the dump,
Well, if they load it up to bring it out of the house.
well, they can carry it out of their house. But
Anything they
I
can
just-
carry out of their house goes out in a regular
I just
garbage.
don't think it's fair. I think, I think we should rotate. I know Brad.
I'm looking at your district now. One of the smallest districts size-wise.
And
Twice
heavily
that's just from my side.
I understand.
We're here to work for whatever you
I
all want to do.
understand.
We just have to manage the calls.
There's
when they call
taxpayers in every
and go
district.
back.
You can do my.
Taxpayers are in every district.
But they're getting the
I
same
think it's
service.
fair
They're getting the same
One
service.
district has to do it every year in the code.
Okay,
I think
I have no problem.
Okay.
I have no problem doing it in reverse. But when our guys have to go back, we have to spend overtime money and extra hours going back. We did that at the time you're talking about.
Get your head back.
Because people didn't have it out. I'm gonna get to say, I told you so.
He didn't get much.
I promise you. But what's the pleasure of the court?
I like it like the way it is.
I also like the way it is.
I don't care.
I like to make a motion, to change it to alternating.
Okay, motion's on the floor to alternate the routes. Is there a second to that motion?
I'll say.
Second? Any further discussion? All approved, say aye.
I'm on,
Excuse me?
I just need an aye.
What was that?
I just need a yay or a nay.
Yeah.
But, Jeff, you,
I don't, it doesn't matter.
I like this. I like this discussion. Is it yes or no? I got one yes. Okay? No?
I'm gonna abstain.
Okay?
How about that?
So motion carried, motion's denied. Got 3 no's and 1 abstention. So, motion number 4 to keep the routes the same. I'll make the motion. Second by Bernard Ice. Further discussion? All approve, say aye. Bernard, was that aye, yeah? Okay.
And I'll be abstaining from that
Again,
one as well.
golly.
Switch left.
Motion carries.
No, you didn't ask for nays. You didn't ask for nay votes.
Nay?
Nay.
Okay. I thought I did. Maybe I didn't. Okay, still motion carries.
On record that I was against it.
I understand. You're considered.
For my
You know,
constituents.
this kind of leads to, I'm not gonna kid you all, I pitched around to my constituents about the raising of the garbage fees.
Uh-huh.
And I've said, look, you know, you made mention we can cut some services. I mean, this right here is a prime example of it, but I gotta tell you, I've had negative feedback on canceling that service from
I agree.
everybody I've talked to. I mean, it doesn't, I got a, a city in my district that it doesn't really affect either way, but, so, I don't know.
They like that service.
It seems like it's pretty controversial every year, and it costs these guys a lot of time to pick up their garbage.
There's no such thing as the initial bulky item was 6 weeks. That doesn't happen anymore. It's 8 to 9 weeks, almost every year.
And you said it cost, Eric, the time that they do that, our guys they can't put culverts in, they can't blacktop, they're just sitting around at the shop not doing, I don't mean to say they ain't
Easy,
doing
bro.
anything.
I disagree with that. Them guys are doing a lot of work, man.
The last 3 weeks, the last 3 weeks of the bulky item pickup time is a time they could be out doing a lot of road work.
Right, culverts.
And it depends on the snow and the ice that you get in between.
Just
Right,
hauling
Brad?
costs, tipping fees, what's it cost?
The labor cost or the,
Well, just the trucking, tipping fees, everything except.
shooting from the hip, you're probably 200 grand or more.
Not counting labor.
No,
That's using our own
That'd be
equipment
labor,
too.
not.
If you actually put
That'd be
like a
labor.
rate,
Yes,
you
Shannon.
charge them
From
on it.
the enforcement end, if you don't do bulky item pickup, Richard's gonna be, she's gonna be busier on nuisance complaints, and we're gonna be busier on.
We're not even
I
discussing
know, but
that.
I'm just saying, if you don't do those things, then it's obviously gonna come.
I think it's a
together.
tremendous asset to the county.
You just want the difference.
Yeah, I just wanted the rotation. I don't want to do away with it whatsoever.
I promise you, we have rotated, I think twice, Brad.
There's a
I
problem.
think.
You can ask Brad, it
His
didn't work.
district was.
Well, I
real
had-
bad.
Depends on management.
And your district came from
Yeah.
with big piles.
And they staff.
And when I was elected, my constituents asked me to bring this forward to court,
Sure.
and that's what I did, so.
No problem.
Totally
No, good
understand.
discussion.
Totally understand.
Good discussion. Anything else, Todd?
Okay, so with that, one quick thing with that, so it'll start February 24th. It's normally the last Monday in February. That'd be section 1. Section 2 will be March 9th, starting March 9th. And the last section will be March on or around March 23rd.
Bet.
That's it.
Bet, that last section won't be on that. Okay, next item on the agenda, zoning regulations. Janet asked if we put this on the agenda to discuss. The planning commission met the other day and made a recommendation to the fiscal court to amend the regulations, and in this particular case, a definition where B1 PUD neighborhood business in the village areas would also follow the, what, 10,000 square feet?
Right, in a B1, it's limited to 5,000 square foot on a commercial or office building, maximum in neighborhood business districts. We've allowed the flexibility as a PUD to go up to 10,000 square foot. Recently, like the Deatsville Dollar General store is 9,100 square feet, and they received a PUD. That PUD, however, is only limited to the Hunters Village, which is in and around the hospital, and then Deatsville Village. And that was done because those were our growth areas at the time, and that was done 10 years ago
10, 15
or
years
so.
ago.
So we had not included the other villages in that, but I think it's timely. We do have a request from Cox's Creek for a similar retail establishment there, that they need the 9,100 square feet. And this would accommodate it. So rather than them asking for a B3 zoning, which they could do, we really would prefer not having B3 zoning in villages and hamlets. We would prefer having the neighborhood business. The PUD requires them to come in with a full set of plans. So it's all up front what they're doing. It is a planned development. We know where their access points are going to be, lighting, landscaping, all of that's done at the time the zone change goes through. So this would expand it to allow it in all villages. So we would include Boston and Chaplin and Cox's Creek would be the three that we would be adding. It has been brought to my attention that we have not included the towns, which would be New Haven and Bloomfield and Fairfield, and so that's probably one that we need to probably bring up in the next couple of weeks and expand that to them. But they,
you're asking the
those
court-
cities have B3, so.
Yeah, they can have B3,
Right.
yeah, but you're asking the court to amend our regulations to allow this, in particular, the Cox's Creek.
Cox's Creek is the one that we
A new storage go in out there, and the higher square footage. What, again, there won't be any difference, you will never see the difference, because you got Deesville and Cox's Creek, and not Cox's, but Hunter's already in that category as well.
And now that the road has gone through, obviously, that's one of our growth areas that we would want, the population is there to serve it.
5,000 up to 10,000.
So basically,
Go ahead.
sorry. So basically, all you're doing is deleting some words out of the PUD, neighborhood business.
I'm taking out Deesville, Hunters, and putting all.
Just
Right.
all.
Yep.
I recommend it, the growth areas.
And how come certain areas you put the villages?
We've identified those as the growth areas that traditionally historically have been small areas that have been a commercial center to serve the population
Or
around
locals,
it.
locals more than.
Yeah, so we looked at several of them in the communities. We've deleted some of them, we've taken them down. New Hope was a village at one time, but it just hasn't become a growth area. They're a hamlet rather than a village. It's not to say that they couldn't have a store, but it would just be a smaller retail establishment. And a lot of it has to do with infrastructure too.
Yeah, but you take the dollar stores. I mean, they want to build as big a building as they can, you know. And I understand that. If I was in business, I'd want it too. I want to have everything that a person wants. I'm just wondering how you classified Nelson County and said, well, this is a village. But you're doing that because of past growth is where you're coming from.
We're looking at the population, what the population is in and around those centers. And then it's also the village, the core commercial services areas in the village serves 1 mile radius around those villages. And then you go to Hamlet goes down to a half-mile radius around the core area. And so we look at the population and what those centers can handle. Now, the one in Botland, that's a 9,100 square foot building as well, Dollar General, but just happened to go on existing B3 zoning. So a lot of the areas, like in New Hope and other areas that we haven't identified as villages, already have B3 zoning that you can have that store without having to have a PUD. But we're going to wait till the census comes out. The census will come out next year. The comprehensive plan you all have, and the city have funded for the comprehensive plan to be updated. We'll be reevaluating all that when we do the comprehensive plan next year. So we'll look at the census, we'll couple the census with the comp plan update, and probably make some revisions.
I'm sorry, go ahead. I was just wondering, the comprehensive plan, who revises that? Is that you specifically?
There's 5 elements of the comprehensive plan. All of them are adopted by the planning commission with the exception of the goals and objectives they have to be approved by all of the legislative bodies.
Mhm.
But everyone will be involved. This will be the first time since 1996 that we've had a major update to the comp plan. So we will have a lot of public involvement in this process.
We have made amendments to the comp plan.
We're required to do it every 5 years.
Every 5 years,
We're required every 5 years by KRS 100 to review it and to update it. The last major update was in 2011, and then due to the recession, there wasn't a lot of changes, so the planning commission just readopted the comprehensive plan in 2016.
I understand.
But now it's time after 25 years that we can do a
Mhm.
major update.
Sure. Residential, for sure, right?
We need it. We need infrastructure, but yes.
Mm.
Yeah, we need sewer. It would be nice.
Mhm.
Judge, I'll make a motion that we amend the zoning regulation to include all villages in the county.
Okay, motion's been made, second by Gary. Further discussion? All approve, say aye. Disapprove? The motion will carry. Old new business? Might have anything from court? Otherwise, entertain a
Do
motion.
you have this?
It's not necessary. Just that's your notification required. Thank you. Motion to adjourn to get help the clerk's office back in full staff again.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Bernard got you first.
Bernard,
Can you do a second? Can you do it?
I will.
Gary did a second. All approve, say aye. Disapprove? Motion will carry. I just give you that for information. So those are some new laws.